They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. Sliding out of the pocket. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to a safety valve. Give defense credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. Now Jones. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
And that's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on 3rd down. And 3rd down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a 4th down.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 15. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And some room to work. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Aaron Robinson. And the Giants are going to get it back here just past the 35. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time. And you've got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
The defenders certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. Throwing, Jones. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Jamie Gillen now on to punt. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is, at the 6-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Prescott to throw it. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Bobby Okereke. And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 and a Giants touchdown. Graham Gano on for the extra point. Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Early on, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. It'll be a handoff to Pollard. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
Azeez Ojulari pushing in and dropping it.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now a give here to Pollard. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and are controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 43 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Well, this defense for the Giants, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
From the 30 on 2nd down, Prescott. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Off the play fake, Prescott. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup.
And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Pollard. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
So they need 6 yards here on third down. They're 2 for 2 on third down tries so far on this drive. Now Prescott. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2. As we step aside here in this second quarter. And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And that is no good.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
They begin with a run by Barkley. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. 2 minutes gone by, second quarter. Jones now to throw on third down.
Oh, looking for Waller, but this is intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football.
If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Prescott looks to throw on first. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. To throw is Prescott. Open man Lamb, it's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. Dexter Lawrence that time in on the stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
They go back to Pollard on second down.
And he's brought down.
65 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends.
Pollard will take this into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. So he had the nice run to get him down there, was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown, so 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10.
Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a first down now, playing behind the sticks.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jones. Got a man. It's Darren Waller. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
So they will wave off the flag and let the completion stand.
Really great job by the receiver fighting through all the contact and still coming down with the football. All that great work in practice being put into the game.
Now Jones throwing on 1st down.
Oh, looking for Waller, but this is intercepted.
Picked off by Stephon Gilmore.
And the Cowboys will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
And he's tackled at the 38, but they doubled their yardage. The play started at the 19, and they gained 19.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker.
And Prescott, his 3rd interception. Picked off by Aaron Robinson.
And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 and a Giants touchdown.
It just appeared there that the defense, they had that read from the moment the ball was snapped. And not only did they get the interception, add a nice return on top of it, all the way into the end zone for a defensive touchdown.
Yeah, and the guy made the play. He gets the points. It really was a group effort, wasn't it? How about the coaches? They've got to be so excited. All the preparation time in the film room, it translated into a big play that put points on the board for their team.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
With his slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive.
The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. From the 29, Prescott. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Giants touchdown. Making back-to-back weeks now with a pick six for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick six in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I won't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls. As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
Final play of the half, Prescott. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that will be incomplete. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
And a great return, solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
During the week, the special teams coach puts together a game plan that he presents to the head coach. And in every game plan, there's one big play that he points to the head coach and says, listen, when we need it, we can go to it. I think they did exactly that on that one.
They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory.
85 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. On play action, Prescott rolling to his right. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
It was starting to become a game for him to forget with the interceptions, but that's a step in the right direction. Not only did he choose to run it instead, but he saw the field well and made a nice pickup to get a new set of downs.
Here's Pollard.
And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30.
It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the third quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game, not just this series that we're watching right now. I know people are screaming, worthy adjustments from halftime on the defensive side of the ball. Sometimes they're just not there. Sometimes you just have to find a way to tackle someone.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Bobby Okereke. And the Giants are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
A first down carry for Barkley. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
2nd down, here's Barkley again. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 3rd and 2, Jones.
This pass into the hands of Bellinger. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down.
And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Looking to throw. Jones. And that's complete to Shepard. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That's good for 28 yards.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on him. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with it.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line.
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
And the passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces 3rd and long.
They'll bring a tight end in motion left. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he will not be able to get the first as he can get this only down to the 5.
So Jones off, Graham Gano on here for the New York Giants field goal.
From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Gano's kick is good, and they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7.
Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin the second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had it.
Football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Now it's 2nd and 9.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson.
And the Giants are going to take possession of the football.
They shined in pass defense last week. 4 interceptions. Boom, first play of the game, another one.
A feeding frenzy is on for this defense now. And remember, it's not just, okay, let's go get an interception. That means they're playing their techniques right. It means they've scouted them very well. They understand what the patterns are downfield, and they know how to go to the point of attack and take the ball away. They are rolling.
Second down, here's Barkley again. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line.
It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down.
And sometimes things come together exactly like you want. It's not just been the volume of carries he's had in this contest. It's been the production as well.
Again, it's Barkley, and he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
47 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Now they bring a receiver in motion right. Barkley. And Barkley did not get there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
There have not been a lot of great moments for this defense throughout this game. Finally, they have one they can hang their hat on. A nice stop there.
So Jones off, Graham Gano on here for the New York Giants field goal. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play, 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Left side to Lamb. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and that'll bring up 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he'll go right back to Lamb. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Now rush. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing here, rush. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. But I believe a Cowboy was there to get it. He was, and Dallas will maintain possession. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Now on 2nd and 13. Rush. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. T.Y. Hilton, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Cowboys have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Now the try here for the extra point. He's got it, and the score's now 27-14. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this will be recovered by the Giants. And that ought to just about do it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for the Giants, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Chicago Bears next week. Meanwhile, for Dallas, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3.
And they will be back home next week for a date with Washington.